Hey, this is Chris Murphy with Murphy Brothers. A little bit different kind of video. We're sitting here shooting in my office today. This is something that we're late in the game this month. When LS introduced this program at the first of the month, it really kind of blew my mind. I couldn't get my mind around it. I didn't see why anybody would want to take it. And why would LS even advertise 0% for 120 months on the MT3 and MT3E? I had to figure it out for myself. And the way I did it, I put it on paper. And I've got on the board behind me basically, or not basically, I've got exactly what I wrote down on the board. I had to have my wife write it because you couldn't read my writing. But this is talking about the programs and your options on how to buy the LS MT3 or MT3E in July of 2025. And like I said, that's important, July 2025, because programs might be different in August. I'm not sure if they will or not. Nobody knows. But this is how this program works. I get a lot of calls. Hey, man, I've seen this advertisement, 0 for 120 months on MT3s. And when a salesman and a dealer does not understand how that works, you kind of get the Ricky Bobby effect. I don't know what to do with my hands. We don't know what to say. I do know what to say now. I know how it works. So I'm fixing to show you how it works. Can you see the board? Okay. On the MT3 or MT3E, these are your finance options or finance choices for July 2025. MSRP, sticker price. On an MT3, I cannot tell you what model this is, but this is one of the premium MT3s. It is probably 3/4 of the way up as far as the height, from the highest price to the lowest. But some tractors that are not as well equipped won't be this much. Some tractors that are equipped more and more horsepower will be higher than this. But this is just an example. MT3 blank, blank, blank. MSRP on this particular tractor is $46,220, including the loader. Now this is very important. I've got times 95%, that's $43,909. The 95%, what that represents is how much LS is willing to subsidize, how many dollars LS is going to let you do either their regular low rate program. This month is 1.99 for 84. They've got lower rates for shorter terms, but they've also got longer terms at a little higher rate. But either this is how much they'll finance at this rate or even at the 0 for 120 or less, okay? But that's all they're gonna finance. Now, your first option, the cash way. That's the way we've always sold a lot of tractors, is with the cash rebate. Remember, this is MSRP. You're gonna buy that tractor for $39,713. Don't worry about the $5,000 yet. That is the cash rebate. But don't worry about that. That's already taken off. Participation fee is 0. There's no participation fee involved to do the cash option. ACU fee, that is the fee that the bank charges you to join the credit union and also files a lien and that kind of stuff. I don't have any dealer fees figured in here because we don't charge them. Some dealers do. Be aware of that. Be careful of that. Some dealers have to because of the state they're in, that kind of thing. I don't believe in those, so I've never started it. I don't like that. I feel like my price should be up here, not added down here, okay? $99 fee. You've got your sales tax here, leaving you the amount to finance if you're putting nothing down at $42,598.84. That does not include insurance. Insurance will be required if you finance it. You can certainly buy it through the finance company, which I highly recommend. It does not make a dealer through this program one penny. I highly recommend their insurance, but that's a topic for another video. You can get your insurance through your own insurance company if you prefer. So don't worry about that. This just does not include insurance. So with nothing down, 84 payments on this right here is $632.36. This times 84 months is your total of payments, $53,118.24. Now, option 2, the regular low rate program. You're giving up the $5,000, so it makes this price $5,000 more than the cash price. Simple enough. There's still no participation fee. Not anything extra other than the rebate you're giving up. The same $99 comes down here and you've got your sales tax. This is the amount to finance. Okay, got a little asterisk there with an arrow pointing up at this $43,909. This $4,039.84 represents how much this, your price plus tax, the amount to finance, is higher than the amount they're going to allow. So you got two choices now. You can either pay this amount down and it stays at 1.99, or you can finance this amount, but anything over the $43,909, this amount right here, is going to be financed at the standard rate. This month is 6.49. So this amount is 1.99. This amount, the 4,000, is going to be at 6.49. So that is going to kind of give you an average, or what we call a blend. If LS is listening, as a dealer, I need a tool to be able to tell me exactly what that blend is. Now, I've done enough of these now that I know it's going to take this 1.99. If you don't pay this down, that's going to blend it up to pretty close to 3%. If you let it blend, you're going to wind up with almost penny for penny, the same thing as it was on the standard rate. So it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Now, if you notice, you've paid more sales tax if you do that. Number two, if you pay this off early, you've already gone up 5,000 here. If you pay this off early, you can actually beat it and win. If you pay it off early enough, you can save money by doing it this way. Now, if you're going to pay the money down and you're very interested in sticking this at 1.99 or whatever the advertised rate is, if you've got this much money to pay down, that's great. You come up with a lower payment, $560.41 versus $632.36. And the total of these, if you let it ride all the way out and you make the down payment, is less money here, $51,114 versus $53,118. So this can save you money as well. Now, the big elephant in the room, other than me, 0% for 120 months or less, okay? I figured this both ways, but I want you to focus on the 84 because that's what these are based on. You still give up the 5,000, so this number stayed the same, no different. You do have a $2,000 participation fee. The participation fee, this is a cab, so it's $2,000. A non-cab is not as much. But you've got your $2,000 participation fee. So you're paying an extra $5,000, an extra $2,000. So that's an extra $7,000 you're paying to do this. $99 fee stays the same. Comes out to $46,812 plus your sales tax right here. Now notice sales tax keeps getting higher every time the dollar amount gets higher. This is your number that you need to finance or pay something down on, $50,088. Here again, $50,088 is quite a bit more than $43,909, the amount they're going to allow. If you can pay $6,179.84 to get it back down to this will stay at 0 for 84 or 60 or 120 or whatever they've got it advertised that they'll go to. That'll stay the same. The same thing stands to reason as over here if you can't pay that much down. Say you can only pay $3,000 down. Well, $3,179.84 is going to create a blend. If you don't pay any of it down, it's going to create a blend. So it's not your paperwork's not going to show 0% anymore. It's going to blend up. Not a bad thing. It's just what it is. Now, while we're talking about blend, we sell a lot of packages. Rarely ever do I sell a fella just a tractor. He's generally going to get that tractor, a trailer, a box blade, a cutter, a post hole digger, a grapple, and a third function, a lane shark. He's going to add a lot of stuff in that package, especially if he doesn't already have a tractor, because you got to have the implements to go with it. Well, the more of that stuff that you add to it that's not LS branded, it's going to create more of a blend. So it will create more that you'll have to pay down, or you'll create a higher rate for yourself on that. That's not punishing you. It's just our LS is only going to finance their stuff and pay part of it, okay? But back down to the payments. If you can pay this much down, you come up with a payment of $522.73. versus 560.41 or 632.36. Well, this times 84 plus your down payment comes up to the same $50,088.84. It only makes sense, it's 0%. So this is your that's your lowest option as far as total of payments. Unless, like I say, there's too many ifs, too many questions, and too many variables. But at the same time, if you know yourself and you know that you're an early payoff person, this is more than likely the way to go. If you know you're going to pay that off in a couple of years instead of 7 years, this cash option is the way to go. If you know you're the person, hey, I'm going to set it up on an automatic draft and I'm going to let it ride. It pays off when it pays off. Right there. This is your best option right here if you've got $6,200 to pay down on this particular unit. Like I say, a higher priced unit, that would be a little more probably. A lower priced unit probably wouldn't be as much. There's a lot of questions there. But I wanted to put this out there this morning. I wanted you to know that LS does have your best interest. Attractive, but as a dealer, I couldn't get my mind around it. And I feel like I've been financing tractors, and I say I feel like I've been financing tractors and equipment for people for 30 years. It took me this long to get my mind around it. So wanted you to see this, wanted you to be able to see the options that you've got, to see why it takes us a minute to give you your best option. Because it does not make a difference. It doesn't make a dime more if you do one of these options for me or the other. I don't make a penny more. We just want our customers to get the best deal. I want it to fit your budget. I want it to fit your needs. So these are the options. We can play with your numbers, but give us a call. We want to talk to you. We want to earn your business. Come see us at Murphy Brothers.